Good morning, it's Dr. Dre. Welcome back to week 27 of A Better Way MD TV, where I'm here to help my friends that are nearing or in menopause lose weight for good. It occurred to me the other day that I haven't really talked a lot about exercise, and since we kind of switched gears and we're talking about how to better support ourselves, of course I'm going to talk to you about exercise. Now look, this isn't one of my favorite subjects. I was really active when I was younger and in sports, and I kept that up for a little bit in college, but then as I went through med school and residency, it kind of dropped off the radar. But then I ultimately came back to it because I was raised in the 80s, so I believed the dogma that calories in equals calories out. And as I was starting to gain weight as an adult, an older adult, I thought that I could just exercise that weight off. And so I've tried a bunch of things throughout the years, including training for triathlons. And you know what I found? You can't out exercise any of your shenanigans that you do in the kitchen. So when they say you can't outrun a bad diet, it's 100% true. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that your body is so smart. It is not going to let you lose any of that hard-earned weight that it's gained. So when you increase your exercise, you're also going to increase your hunger. And what generally happens is that when you're hungry after you exercise and you out-eat any of the calories that you've burned off. So get rid of that notion that you've got to exercise to lose weight. I have so many people that tell me that they can't lose weight because they can't exercise for health reasons or injuries, but that's just not true. And it's time to get rid of that notion. Now, why exercise at all? Well, you have to exercise to keep yourself healthy. You have to have aerobic exercise for your heart, and you have to have some strength exercise, strength training to keep your lean muscle mass. And both of those things are important as we get older, but the lean muscle mass is so crucial as we get older. It supports your metabolism, it supports your joint and your bone health, and it just overall makes you feel better. Now, how much exercise is enough? Well, the experts out there tell us that 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week is what you need. That's kind of your baseline amount of exercise. But for a lot of us, that seems like a lot of exercise, doesn't it? That's like 30 minutes, 5 days a week. That can be quite a bit. But if you are not an exerciser and you need to start, I'm going to kind of give you some guidelines on how you can do that. All right, so the other thing that I want to talk to you today about is something called non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And that's really basically all the physical activity that you do that is not exercising, it's not eating, and it's not sleeping. It's everything else. And over the last 30 years or so, our levels of NEAT have gone from like burning 2,000 calories to burning 200. And it's kind of mirrored our increase in our weight gain. So today on Tuesdays are my exercise day. And usually I come in, full makeup so it looks like, I'm a little bit younger than I actually am. But today I'm fresh-faced. I have my 80s scrunchie so that when I finish this video, I can start my exercise. So, you know what? I think maybe this is my sleep scrunchie, so it's probably not going to hold my hair up, but I'm going to put it up there anyway. Okay, we're ready to go. Now, how do you get started? You figure out what your minimum baseline is. Now, if I haven't talked about this is a concept in coaching, your minimum baseline, and it's basically what you know you can do at the bare minimum. So maybe for you, that's 5 minutes a day, or maybe it's not even 5 minutes a day. Maybe it's 5 minutes 3 times a week. Whatever you need to do, whatever you decide is your minimum baseline, you need to write it down. It needs to be in your calendar. And the idea that you don't want to do it needs to go away. So I've been working on this thought, and I'm going to loan it to you so you all can try it and tweak it for however works best for you guys. But it's the idea that not wanting to do something is not an excuse to not do it. And there's so many things that we do that with, really. A lot of times you don't want to brush your teeth. You're going to brush your teeth though, right? So same thing with exercise. Pick your minimum baseline and start slow and build. So if you need to do 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, that's 30 minutes 5 days a week, or 22 minutes 7 days a week. So let's say that we just start with 5 minutes a week. If you add 5 minutes a week once a month, in 6 months, you're going to be up to that 150 minutes of moderate exercise. Now, one excuse I get a lot is, hey, I don't have the time. Girl, I hear you. I use that all the time. But honestly, if you look back over your phone for the last couple of days, you'll see that you easily wasted 30 minutes on TikTok. I know, I've been there. It's a freaking rabbit hole. Don't go down it. But anyway, you can always do 30 minutes. And if you start at 5 minutes, you can actually train yourself to do 5 minutes at one time, 5 minutes at another time, 5 minutes at another time. So like your food, you have to have your fallback. Hey, that's my exercise buddy right there. Did you see that look he gave me? He was like, you are messing with my nap, sister. Anyway, put it on your schedule and then have your backup plan. So I like to exercise in the morning because I'm physically exhausted in the evening, and you still give me dirty looks. But I also know that sometimes I have to run out in the morning for whatever it has to do with work. And so then I plan to do it at lunch. And then if it doesn't get done at lunch, the first thing I do when I get home, I don't even change my clothes because I'm typically in scrubs. I just get on my bike, which leads me to the second excuse I get. What exercise to do? And I don't like to exercise in the winter because it's too cold. I hear you. I don't like to really get out and exercise when it's cold either, which is why I bring my exercise in. So I have a road bike, and I actually just bring it in and put it on a trainer. And you can kind of see the corner of my mat. So it's right behind this door. But I get on there, I set my timer, I put a song on, and I just ride my bike. You don't have to do that. You can get just a mat and some hand weights and work on that. And there are a million videos on the internet that you can do. And maybe that's not your thing. If it's not your thing, take a dance class. Go take some swimming lessons. Just figure out what you like to do and then get your minimum baseline in and just do it. Now, here is where I'm really going to get to be the Debbie Downer. Are you ready? So even though exercise doesn't help you lose weight, you absolutely 100% have to exercise to maintain weight loss. So that, if you need a motivation, should be it, because you don't want to get to the end of 6 months to 12 months, 18 months of weight loss and then realize, oh, SHIT, I now need to do 60 minutes 5 times a week to maintain my weight loss. So I know it seems overwhelming. Please don't let that be blocking you from getting started. So maybe you do 5 minutes of leg lifts, side bends, sit-ups, whatever you do, just get busy doing it and write it down, what your minimum baseline is, check it off, and then add to it each week. All right, so that's what I've got to say about exercise. I am going to go do a little stretching, and then I am going to actually go see my own personal trainer. I see him once a week, and he is amazing. His name is Don Gallucci, and he is a functional chain personal trainer, meaning that he kind of works with your, with the way the muscles are supposed to work, and it helps me to build up my strength. So take care. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.